It's off to work week. I hope. It's off to work week.
Happy Friday. There's another ToyPherapy. With me tonight, we have the esteemed Eldor. We just saw him recently. And a special guest tonight is Bud from My Buddy's Custom. Say hi, Bud.
Hey, what's up, guys? Or what's up, all?
All right, Bud. So you know, because you haven't been on the show before, but so you get asked this question. I ask it of every guest. Eldor's already answered it, so we know where he stands. So we're going to talk about your Myers-Briggs Geek Nerd Dork version. So if you haven't heard my description, I'm going to go through it real quick for you. So first thing, if you are socially awkward and you have an obsession, you're generally going to be a stalker. Yeah, I can see that. Makes sense, logically. If you're socially awkward with a high IQ, you're a dork. If you have a high IQ and you're obsessed, you tend to be a geek. And if you have a high IQ, you're socially awkward and you're obsessed, you tend to be a nerd. So, Bud, for the audience members, where exactly do you think you fall into this scale? And if you say stalker, we're going to have a different kind of intervention.
So, define IQ, like book smarts?
No. In this case, it can be just general smarts.
If you can name every character in Master of the Universe, then you have a high IQ, let's say.
Okay. Then I would definitely say nerd.
Okay. See, it's fine. It works. It's fine.
I was almost leaning towards stalker unless you defined IQ as something else.
Well, you know, you could be a toy stalker. So that would be accurate.
I mean, I do sit there with a tab of Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, and I refresh it a couple times daily to see if like any surprise items pop up. I mean, to my defense though, I was able to snag on Big Bad a King Hiss when they were all sold out. Whole bunch of Cobra Khan, Ratlore, and I think one of the Sunman figures. I was able to get those. They were all sold out, but just because people kept, canceling pre-orders, I was able to snag them. So take that as you will.
Okay,
you're a bit of a hunter there. Stalking your prey, as it were.
Yeah. You know what?
I was on the hunt.
Maybe we should define the stalking less like stalker, like movie of the week stalker, and more like
like Night Stalker there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Less stabby, more looking for toys. We could qualify that. I could get away with that.
Okay.
We could call toy hunters. Yeah. Toy hunter stalkers. We hunt. We do.
So if there was a circle between stalker and nerd, that's where I would be. That little corner.
That little corner.
Yeah.
You're light on the stalker and heavy on the nerd. There you go. That's where we'll go. Light on the stalker, heavy on the nerd. We're fine. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine.
It's all good. Yep.
We're all good.
We're good. How's everyone?
We're going to briefly say hi to the chat. Mr. Cobweb is here. Hey, Jacob, how are you doing tonight, sir? Mr. Nolan, the only man in more chats than I am. Thanos Copter, evening, sir.
Thanos Copter. Hello, sir.
Now, I have a feeling we're going to be a little light on audience members tonight because,
Oh, yeah.
Your power call going on there.
There's this little thing called Power Con something or other that's going on.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Watching this on replay, it's PowerCon weekend, so nobody's going to come on tonight.
Now, there's some definite toy stalkers there.
Yes, definitely Toy Story. Definitely. All right, so I have a question for you, gentlemen.
Shoot.
What did you pick up this week?
What did I pick up this week? Well,
we'll go with you.
Okay. This week, well, I think it was this week. I think it was very early this week, if not during the weekend, or maybe it was Friday. I don't know, but I did pick me up a Origins Mossman.
Yeah, Danny hit me up earlier. He's like, is that Dio that you're building for Mossman? No. No,
honestly, I would build one just for him. In fact, I have my baggie of aquarium parts.
I would just, if I did that for just one character, it just seems like it would be off for me. I only have so much shelf space.
It would be totally on brand for me. Like months ago, when I first got these 3D printed Modis, I was I had a spare, not aquarium, but like a cage for like a gerbil. Mm-hmm. And I was going to fit it with all the aquarium pieces, print off a little backdrop to put in there, and put like actual like lights, the little feeding gerbil water tube thing in there, and have it like an actual pet setup, but just have Modi sitting in it. And that's how I was going to actually display him. I still might do it. Where is my other Modi? I think he's behind
anything
my
else
backdrop
you
here.
picked up this week, bud?
Well, not in hand, but I did get shipping notification on Fangor.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you got yours there.
Yes. So that is on its way.
Myself that he would not start shipping out to about November there, but they did say you before or on November, so because you see, Mattel has recently stopped shipping to Eternia here, and so we have to go around. We have to go around the old back door to get our figures now. So what we have to do is we have a little a service here called U-Shop, run by Eternian Post there, and so what you do is you enter your U-Shop address into your account, and you have to use that one. Otherwise, if you use an overseas address, they say they can't ship to the address you entered there. So we have to have it shipped to U-Shop in the US somewhere. They have a big warehouse there, and you have to give them your tracking number so they know your parcel is coming. And then once they get that, they charge you to have it shipped to wherever you are outside of the US there. So that's a little bit more expensive than what Mattel normally charges. So yes, but I did buy for two other fellows there. We split shared the $6 US to get it to U-Shop, and of course we'll be splitting 3 ways of the shipping to get them the rest of the way here. So
nice. I picked up one for myself and one for Oz.
Oh, good thing.
Somebody else got one for Oz too.
Yeah, and then of course he did message me, said someone else got him one, but he was more than happy to have 2, and I was like, okay.
Whatever works.
Yep.
All right, so here's mine. I finally got my Street Fighter 2 figures in from the fine folks who are at PowerCon this week. Hello Dope Toys.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, sir.
So I got those in. That's 2. And I had to finish my chode bath. I went ahead and got these. Kid Omega and Fang. And then I happened to stop into Target to get something for my son, and lo and behold, Red Man.
Yes. Nice looking figure indeed.
I got to cancel my pre-order from Entertainment Earth because, apparently they're not getting it.
Yes.
And then one of my other pre-orders came in, Shipwreck.
Oh, Shipwreck. Oh, here he is. The old scoundrel.
Yeah, I got 2 of him coming in so I can use the head. And my PowerCon exclusives came in, my Domestros. There you go, bud. The nice shiny. Yeah, I got a nice translucent head and hands. And then of course Tanger, which you really can't see, but I got him in.
Is that the old AWOC there?
Yeah, that's an AWOC. It's a recolored thing, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I got.
Is that the orange one?
Yep.
Okay.
He's orange. If I didn't already have enough, of the Beastmans, I would have.
So now you're gonna have like a uber big Beastman.
I have 3 deluxe Beastman, and I was really tempted to get another one because they were on clearance for $9.89.
But that's the new Eternia one there, so.
Yeah, the new Eternia, the deluxe Beastman.
Oh right.
It was on sale for $9.89, but for clearance, and I was like, you know what? I don't really need another one.
Does your Target have New Adventures He-Man?
They do not. I've only seen him there once, and that's when I got him.
Yeah, a fast fellow indeed.
And that was 2-3 months ago. Last time I saw him.
I might have to message you later, possibly about snagging another Beastman.
If he's still there, Pighead was $10. Pighead was $10 too.
Oh, nice. Maybe that too. I'm not sure.
I'm looking to get the Masterversal Pighead for his clock there. In my, I'm doing my next customer's King Hiss there, so I'm going to use his scaly loincloth and that, and yes, I'm going to get a few other figures to do that with indeed. I might try and find another Revelation Man at Arms for the green body buck.
Yeah,
and so forth.
Because I have my what I call Wild Armor King He-Man custom that I'm eventually going to do. Eldor was awesome enough to send me a extra Stratos, but I still need another King Grayskull and a Beastman.
Yes, I was lucky to come across a loose King Grayskull there the other day for on the secondary market here in Eternia. So I'm glad to find him in the collection there. But yes, I suppose a pickup for me this week was old Skeletor's dining table there. It's a kitchen table, you might say.
That is nice.
This is in 3 pieces, so I have to glue it together and clean it up there. And of course, there's some gaps going through the middle there that I have to put a bit of filler in also.
What are you going to use for the? What are you going to use for the filler for? Are you going to just put glue as a filler?
I'll just use some epoxy putty there.
Oh, okay.
Just in that center seam where the 2 pieces come together, because when they cut through the spike formation around the base here, so there's a nice bigger gap going through it that needs a bit of attention there. But aside from all that, and having to go around with the old sandpaper there, and maybe some other filling materials just to get rid of those unsightly grain holes at the top. They're rather deep, so that will be ready for as we know, Snake Mountain is the Origin Snake Mountain playset is assigned to roll out there.
Anytime.
So a fellow in our collector's circle over here, he posted this up on the group chat, and he was selling them for $25 a pop. So I jumped in on his first one there. He has to print more out, of course, but yes, I was lucky to be quick on the buzzer there, as they say. And yes, I picked up the older table, so that's arrived yesterday there. Rather late in the evening, I got a bit of a surprise, loud knock at the drawbridge there. Ooh, who's that then? In this ungodly hour.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's cool looking. It's definitely, it's a lot bigger than I was expecting. I was figuring it was going to be a little smaller, but I guess it's real. It looks like it's more.
As you might have seen some photos there on the IG, it suits okay with the Origins figures. It's maybe a little tall for them, but no, they can quite comfortably rest their elbows on that. And indeed, it suits the classics or the Masterversal figures, but not quite with the loyal subjects. You have old Skeletor trying to jump up there and hold on to the top of the table to see what he's doing there.
Yeah.
He's a bit too short for it.
So, Bud, what are you working on? Looks like you're messing with a faker now.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do a little detail work on him. I painted his sword a long time ago, and it fell off my shelf, and the paint kind of chipped on it, so I was going to fix that up, and I was like, oh, might as well just do the painting of the crossbones and a few other small things.
So what is it about a figure that makes you want to customize it? But
I see the figure and I see what it could be.
Okay.
And also, like, from spending multiple hours looking at stuff like the 2000X series figures, classics, and just seeing like how cool those paint schemes would look on these figures.
Okay.
That's kind of what.
A bit more to look at, I suppose.
Yeah.
A little bit more dynamic there, you might say.
So, Eldor, what about you when you're doing something custom? Why do you do customizing?
Well, I suppose
what makes you want to custom?
Many of the reasons that most do, like Bud there, sir. Yes, I just like to see what I can do to the action figure, and if there isn't a character out yet, like Grizzlaw was at the time, we never quite had a Masterversal Grizzlaw yet, so I decided to see if I could make a custom one there, because we already had a couple of figures there, like old Stinkor and Revelation Beastman with all the the fairy arms and so forth, and so I mashed all those together, made my own custom soft goods there for the fur, and of course I sculpted the Grizzlaw face over top of the Stinkor head there. But yes, I picked up a Masterversal faker there last night to use in my when I get my spare movie He-Man there from the '87 film. But I'm going to be doing up as a '87 faker there. So I'm going to use the body buff of that Masterversal faker, and then dress him up in all the movie He-Man garb there. But I think he has a few molded parts to his legs, like those little straps. So I might have to sculpt a few of those on here and there, but nothing too major. And also I bought two of the Ramen Toy Verse Masters of the Verse heads there, the Verse 2 variety, and what have you. So I got the spare one there to paint up, or maybe do a bit of battle damage to the face there. And yes, that'll be that.
Rick has joined us.
Hey, Burke.
But yes, tonight, I'm speaking of the '87 movie. I'm working on. I started the miniature design of Snake Mountain there, as it might have appeared in the movie if we did see it. So I haven't got it all assembled. Of course, I'm just I've got the bare bones of it that I'm doing a bit of work on at the moment. I just had to secure down all this masking tape that's lifted off there, because the masking tape I had was a bit more of a cheaper variety, and it doesn't stick to itself too well. So over time, it's lifted off. So I've got some stronger stuff that I'm just going over there before I do a bit of paper mache.
Are you going over that with PLA to seal it so it doesn't come loose again?
No. So I go over the paper mache over the top once I've, because I only use the masking tape there to keep some of the mess in of the polystyrene, or if I have smaller fine pieces like these spikes there that might get snapped, I coat them in a bit of masking tape to give them a bit of strength there before I go and do the paper mache of toilet paper over the top there. So lots of water and glue there, because the toilet paper, if you just use straight out glue, it tends to stick to the brush and it's hard to pat it down. So I have a little glass of water there to dip the brush in after I sort of get it settled lightly, and then the water helps to stop the brush from sticking to the toilet paper there. It makes a bit more of a smoother job, if you will. So, So currently, yes, I'm just going around doing all that and patting down all this masking tape that's lifted off over the short break I've had on this project. But mainly the masking tape I like to get is more of a darker, paler yellow color.
Yeah.
Because I've found in the past that the more paler masking tape doesn't stick to itself too well there. Well, beyond being taken off the old roll there, as it were.
Yeah. Well, it's for me. I try to find some decent masking tape, but when you'd mentioned that you kind of make trees with it, you twist it around, and I thought that was kind of an interesting way to make a tree. I mean, you
also use masking tape in doing your epoxy putty sculptures there.
Yeah.
You sort of roll it about there like so, and so you've got a bit of a branch of masking tape, much like this. You can stick that to a bit of a tree form if you're making one up. But yes, some people they use it to make a little guide around, say, a shape of a dinosaur side on there, and they line the dinosaur up with just the little twines of rolled up masking tape there, and then they fill on the inside with masking tape, sort of inverted, so the sticky stuff is on the outside. Then you build up a bit of an inner core for your dinosaur there, as it were. Not too big though. You usually work out inside the dinosaur shape, because the epoxy putty it makes things more thicker as you apply it. So you've got to compensate there by making your core a bit more smaller than what it would normally finish out as being, of course. And then you do two halves of that, then you stick them together, then you've got your basic dinosaur core shape. I believe there's a fellow on the old YouTube that uses that method there. He makes mainly the dinosaurs based on the Jurassic Park look there.
Mm-hmm.
I forget that fellow's name there, but he's quite clever indeed. You might just search out how to sculpt a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something, because I've forgotten his name there for his channel.
Yeah, I tend to forget people that I start learning techniques from, so it happens. If I spend all my time talking about where I saw this, sometimes I don't even remember where I saw it. I just know I saw it.
Well, I bought a few samples with me today there. Dio samples, not toy samples.
Yeah.
So this is one done in bit of
that's nice.
Bit of polystyrene there. I carved all the rocks out of that, and it's sitting on a bit of cardboard for the base.
Okay.
And so I did this in the paper mesh and the toilet paper over the rocks, and of course toilet paper gives you a nice little texture. When it's all wrinkled and dry and so forth. And I found some moss there from the old hobby store, and put a bit of moss just around the tops there, and in the wee cracks, sometimes in the wee cracks in between the rocks. And I just painted that all black before I added all the moss there. Of course, I painted that all black, and then little bit of a dry brush of white, just so where the light would fall on there, because it's a bit hard for lighter colours to show up their full colour on a darker background there. So the light helps to bring that colour out a bit better. Then I just dry brush and a bit of grey and sometimes a bit more white over top.
Yeah. So do you do
a little bit of green there also, like the Castle Grayskull has, and then just added the moss there over top.
So do you do a dark color as a base color so that for like a primer?
Yes, it's called underpainting there. So it helps bring out all that texture and stuff.
What about
use the dry brush method?
What about other like grays or white primer? Do you ever use anything other than black?
No, I just tend to do the black first sometimes, although you can do washes of black over top of the. Some people do that. They put the color on first, and then they bring in a bit of a wash there and a bit of a rag to get all the excess off, as they do in the movies, I believe. And other things you can do, of course, is with your sculpting Fimo clay there, the oven baked stuff.
Oh, that's
Sculpey,
cool.
I think it's called. And you can make a little plant formations, and this is a sort of a turny of vines there coming out of a bit of a rocky base.
That's cool. That looks nice.
A little bit of greenery on the bottom there. But yes, I painted that up black too, and just dry brushed in different tones of greens, and of course a little bit of green and grey on the rocks there.
When I'm doing this for whatever reason, I find that if I'm going to make it a light color, I'm always going to darken it first with my primer, and then I'll come back in and hit it with whatever I need to hit it with.
You can do that also.
But I've also got my spray primer. I have a black spray primer and I have a gray. And the gray one I really like because it fills.
Yeah, gray is really nice. That's what I usually use.
I use it's Mr. Resurfacer. It's a spray bottle. It's not cheap, but you don't
think not.
Yeah, you don't use that much though. So it's nice that you can get away with a little bit less of what you need to.
I use the Warhammer paints primer.
And yes, here's sort of like a formation, a background.
See, that is cool. I like that.
A rock formation. But this is a little bit different. It's more like a cardboard wall there. So yes, it just consists of a bit of a flat base there, and on the sides we have some support struts there, keeping everything nice and straight there. And yes, I used a foam clay to sculpt over this side. So I sculpted in all the rocky look to these.
So that's made with clay.
Foam clay there. So
foam clay.
Air dries. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen it.
You can also use it on EVA foam as well.
Yeah,
but, You apply a bit of water first, and then you just put all that on there. And it dries really hard, but nice and light.
But it's really
go about painting it there.
It's sandable, right?
Yes. If you leave it to dry for a couple of weeks, it gets more super hard there. And if you go sanding it, I think maybe after a day or so, it's still a bit soft there, and you end up sort of getting a bit of a scuff going on there. Of course. And this was another one. This was another one fairly similar there.
That's great.
More in a big piece. This was just polystyrene pieces glued on top of each other. Now, normally it's hard to glue polystyrene together because some glues give a solvent effect there and eat away the polystyrene. So that's where the old masking tape comes in handy also. So I coat all the different segments there in masking tape, and then just hot glue away as you do, and those on top of each other. And then I paper mache the newspaper, the Eternals Times there. So a little bit of a different medium as far as paper mache goes. So that was all done in the old newspaper there, and so I painted a bit of a dark blue and And streaks of white there to bring up some of the details.
That's fascinating. Mr. Scuba Pete has joined us. Hey, Scuba.
Hello there, sir.
Hello.
So,
yes.
Now, Bud.
Yeah.
I have some questions, so give me a second. I got to pull them up because I got my thing. So, childhood toys. What'd you have? What was your favorite?
I had, a lot of course, Masters of the Universe. My sister, who is 3 years older than me, she was already playing with like a She-Ra, and she had which was going to be my He-Man and like a Skeletor. And then once I was born, they're like, oh well, maybe he can play with her, so they went out and bought even more, and that was kind of my introduction. Like as soon as I was able to play with toys, they were just there. And then I think straight after that was probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I definitely did a lot of mixing of those two lines.
Really?
My turtles always played
the same size, so I could see that.
Yeah, my turtles always played in because I didn't have like a sewer layer or any of that. I had the turtle van, but that was about it. So they'd always play in, yeah. And then I think from there I went into a lot of the Kenner Batman.
Oh yeah, Kenner Batman
figures.
That was the stuff.
Oh yeah, I had so many of those.
Because automobiles that they made. I mean, that stuff is awesome.
As a kid,
I had one of the Jokers there. You put him in the bathtub and he squirts water out of his little flower there.
Flower, yeah.
Was it the Toy Biz one?
I think I had that one.
I think there was the Toy Biz one. Eldor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the water squirting was Toy Biz.
Yeah, as a kid, I was always sick a lot and out of hospital and stuff. So like playing with toys was always kind of my escape.
And help you pass the time there, I suppose.
Yeah. And like everyone from like my dad's work, when they found out I was sick, they went out and bought just a whole truckload full of toys and like brought them all up. And it's kind of where I had most of my childhood toys.
So, do you still have your childhood toys?
Not many.
So if you survived to adulthood,
maybe in our garage. The thing is, like, my parents, especially my mom, was one of those. It's like he's at this certain age. He's definitely grown out of playing them. Not asking me if I grown out of playing them. Just kind of decided for me. So like my original castle and all my vintage figures went to, there was like a local daycare that we had at the time, and she gave them all to
your mom
to them.
Did an Andy? She donated to the local daycare.
And
Andy's
of course,
mom is not a good person.
Every time she comes and like sees all of my shelves of like He-Man figures, she always comes in. She's like, "Gosh, I really regret giving away those toys." And I was like, "Yeah, me too."
Yeah, those are expensive. So, have you actually tried to get any of the vintage line?
I've gotten one, and it was kind of a gift from someone. I got Buzz Off.
Okay.
And I gotta say, like holding it in my hand definitely had that vintage plastic smell. It was really cool. Like there are a couple I think I do want to get because like my favorites from them was Battle Armor, He-Man, and Skeletor. Those have always been like my favorites. And sadly, Origins didn't really do it well, especially He-Man.
Yeah, I want it to. There's some action features that are just kind of easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
That one would have been the easiest one to do. Now, all it would have been is just a spinning bar, and a latch. So, I mean, a spring. It can be mild spring loaded. That one I could see that should be easy enough to do, but I don't know why they didn't. And, that's the one thing about those toys, though, is that a lot of those action features, they do kind of break down over time. So, but
yeah.
One thing the mosquito suffered a bit with its blood pumping feature because a few, including myself, had blood leaking out the back through the old pressing button there. What?
I was worried about that when I got mine. Thankfully, mine didn't.
Well, luckily I got two of them, so one's still in its packaging there.
Yeah. One thing I really looked at the Battle Armor Origins He-Man, and they could have made it work by not changing the entire setup they have, but put a kind of border around the action feature to make it appear bigger, and just have the center of the logo is the part that gets scratched, and just paint the rest of the logo on the outside.
Yeah.
So see, the problem is they had the pegs that the arms go into. They're going down. They go down like this. They don't go straight into the body there. And see, if they'd done that with Battle Armor He-Man or Skeletor, they could have incorporated the wee plugs that the arms go into sort of an axle or a turning barrel there to slide the battle effect piece on to give you a bit more of a bigger a window there for the battle piece.
So, Bud, let's take a look.
Yes.
Right now you're only collecting Masters of the Universe, right?
A little bit of Transformers, a little bit of
Transformers. But so, what about Transformers? Was that something that you missed as a kid, or was it just something that you've always wanted? Interest in the Transformers.
I didn't really watch the cartoon much as a kid. I didn't see the movie until much later, but I've always had a fascination with robots and any kind of especially since the whole Power Ranger age. I always loved the Zords.
Yeah.
One thing can transform into another. And as a kid, I always used to I had a bunch of the Mighty Max sets, and I would fully take them apart and put them back together. I loved taking things apart. And transforming kind of, I don't know, felt like it had a similar feel to it. And of course Transformers and Zords and all those I also took apart and put them back together. And they all always worked right.
So I had the old Transformers there growing up too. I had a few there. And of course the old Lego there also.
I never had any of the kind of Gen 1 or Gen 2. I didn't really start collecting Transformers until the whole Beast Wars era.
Okay. Yes, I came into it about G2, I believe. I did have a G1 that was given to me, but
I had a few G1s. I had Hound, and I had Cliff Jumper and Inferno. I didn't have a whole lot of Transformers. My grandma.
Neither did I. Yeah.
I asked for Optimus Prime for Christmas one year, and I got a pair of Penn State sweatpants.
Yeah.
My cousin, he got Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime turning in his grave. What?
Yeah, well, my cousin got the Optimus Prime. I got sweatpants. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Well, it's some kind of crazy. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I know as a kid, I had a pair of Silverhawks pajamas, and on the chest it had a print of I think the main character. They were gray kind of pants and a shirt, And it was really cool because like you would like it had the like wings under the like arms. Cool. Yeah.
See, we had all the kind of neat stuff, underoos. I mean, yeah, they still sort of have it, but I don't think it's the same. I really don't. No. I don't think it's not nearly the same, licensed stuff that we had as kids. I mean, that's something that I think a lot of this, gets missed. It's something that just kind of got sidetracked somewhere along the way. And honestly, I think it's something that I don't like consumerism in and of itself. It's, the reality is
it's digressed a lot, you might say, indeed.
Yes, Kayla, I mentioned underoos.
Okay. Ooh, hello.
It's okay.
Zazel said, hey, and I know I saw somebody else. Where were they?
The songs there. Hello.
Yeah, there's Jim. Lagers Laris checking in on this. But yeah, no. Oh, there's Miss Allison. Hi, Allison.
Troy.
Hi, Allison.
Yes. Nothing like painting and, imagining underoos, Kayla. Thank you so much for that. It's now in my head. I happen to mention it in a non way, and now you just have to no. I'm going there.
Yes, I see. Kayla got her motherboard there today in the mail.
She did.
Was it the other day there? I don't know, but yes, she had a photo of her and old the card holding up their motherboards there. Bit of a live stream.
Yeah, she did a reverse opening.
Ooh.
In her photos. It was surreal, honestly. I was like, what? Hang on, wait. No, that's going.
Oh, did she go a bit backwards there?
Yeah, she started with it open, and then every other one is progressively backwards. It was an interesting way to do it, I gotta say.
This reminds me of that episode of the Red Dwarf there, when they go to a planet where everybody does everything backwards. They eat backwards, and
Ew, that doesn't sound pleasant.
Indeed, it's a bit of a mind twister there.
I don't want to know how you eat backwards. I that's something. No. Don't need that image. No, I'm all right. I'm good.
You'll be surprised. It's just like a sandwich reforming, and you didn't get all the gross bits, of course.
I believe that was. Never mind.
What? But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna mention 2 people and a possible glass, but never mind.
No. Don't go there.
Nope, that's why I was like, never mind.
No cupping.
This is why I don't know that.
Nope.
No cupping. No cupping. There will be no cupping. Oh, goodness.
I'm sorry, all these human traditions are lost on me.
Coming soon to Thanos' next hump of Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So they're gonna let that dry up a little bit and do another coat.
Thanos' post today was so tame. I was like, mentioned that it was like, did the invasion of the body snatchers start happening? Because something's up. And then, of course, Jacob earlier in the week decides to post the lingerie photos of his girls. So I was like, okay, all right, what's going on?
The old body snatchers there.
Like, what's going on? Something's happening. All right.
No, they sort of point at you and do a bit of a screen there. They say, that person's not quite alien there. He's a human.
Yeah. As long as they're not screaming at me, we'll probably be all right.
So one thing I found out, Mossman is pretty much a Swiffer. You drop him on the floor and he'll collect every piece of dust and dirt.
Yeah, of course.
Yep. He fell off once today, and I picked him up, and it was bad. In fact, I still have a.
You could get him working at old Walmart there, where people bring in all their clothes with all the lintel over them.
Yeah, I'll be right back,
guys. Himself with all their clothes.
Right. One thing that is kind of odd is they gave him the one Beastman style hand where he's got that kind of armor on the palm here or on the wrist here, but the other arm or hand doesn't.
How interesting.
Yeah, and they even gave
that's on all of them and not just an accident or something.
I don't know. And it's also weird that they gave him. He's kind of got those really small cuffs, which I think.
Oh, the arm braces there.
Yeah, the really small, thin ones.
The wrist
braces. Right. They're completely flocked over.
Oh, I would have thought they would have left them unflocked, maybe.
Yeah, same.
maybe another custom for you if you decide.
Right. I definitely am not going to do much with him. I know I'm going to paint the eyebrows. I might paint in his gums because I noticed under his teeth he just has on the bottom here he just has white gums here.
Oh, needs to brush his teeth a bit more, I think.
Thanos says it can't all be fisting, but you know what? When you say it's Fisto Friday,
right?
Come on, it's false advertising. I guess if Fisto's in the picture, it covers it. I guess. Fine, we'll do semantics. Jeez.
These are also two very different style hands, where the one hand that does have the armor on the hand here.
Yeah, is that a reuse?
I don't know, because like on this one, which of course I was saying when you had left, the other hand doesn't have it, which is weird. But
so he's got hand, knuckles, what you're saying?
He's got one brass knuckle.
Yeah, he got some brass.
But like this hand has more of the dented grip to really hold weapons well, while this one's kind of the older one that doesn't. So this weapon does not hold well in his left hand.
Well, it doesn't look like it has a full grip, does it?
Just in there. Hello there, sir.
Yeah, Adam has joined us. Hey, Adam, how are you, sir? And Christina. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Oh, Christina.
Hello.
And I know I saw somebody else. There she is. Carol's here.
Oh, Carol Geis. Yes, good evening.
Ah.
Carol has joined us. See? Now that was black when we started, so I got a nice little coloration change. Got some nice gradients. Got some black on the inside.
Oh, yes.
Looks great now.
There's a bit of a hill there, is it?
It's kind of just a little rock in the display. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I haven't decided. It's in that plot to be right here in front, but I'm trying to kind of fill in some gaps with rocks. And I've got this big old thing over here, but I'm probably going to end up doing airbrush with it instead of hand paint.
Oh, like the old air guitar there, is it?
Yeah, but can't airbrush in the house.
No.
I'm not going to do that.
I primed once in my room, and that was a bad idea.
Hey, Travis has joined us from
wonderful indeed,
PowerCon, where he is out there. He's got his Kickstarter going. You know, pretty much everybody here.
How did that go there, sir, today?
Yeah, you have to tell us how your day went. Then Red Black's here. Boop. There we go. Boop. There we go. Oh, that.
Oh, yes.
Nope. That.
Protect the lungs there. Luckily, I'm
not
working. Too dangerous.
No craziness. No craziness on my end for tonight.
And all my polystyrene is well covered prior, of course. So.
All right, now I need you.
I use a different type of masking tape there prior to what I'm doing now. There, brick something so, but of course it's not as strong as most masking tapes. It's started lifting off over time. So I'm just petting it all back down again.
So, Bud, hang on. Let me get back to my other list here. I'm trying to do 12 things at once. This is how this is working. So, is there any franchise? Does it have to have lore? Does it have to have stories? Does it have to have all of that accoutrement, or is it just something about a toy that makes you go, "Yeah, I want that toy"?
It's mostly visually appealing.
Okay.
I suppose I'm in the same boat as you are, Bud, sir.
It definitely does help when it will scale fairly well with something else that I have.
So that is a factor.
Yeah. Okay. That is how I fell down the rabbit hole of the Mick Farland toys.
Ah, yeah, that'll do it.
Because I wanted a Superman to go along with my Masterverse He-Man for that, classic 80s comic.
Yeah.
Well, like that Master Universe Classic set where you got Superman and He-Man.
Yeah, they did a 2-pack in classics.
Yep. And I looked up, and I've known of the McFarlane figure, so I went and checked the size, and there were 7 inches, and then someone on Facebook posted a figure next to one, and I'm like, ooh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And I only meant to get like 5 or 6 figures in all.
Yeah, that worked out well, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
See, it starts with Legions. Mythic Legions is a good one there because not all the characters have stories to them, you see, and indeed I think they're still ironing out the books there. But a lot of the figures, like your Legion builder figures, they don't have, they don't come with the old story and the bio there, like some of the main characters do. So you can make your own stories up there, as indeed I have done there with my bronze dwarf figure and my barbarian Legion builder also.
Yeah, I've got the rest of that. The only one of the Cosmic Legions that I didn't get is the Slog. I couldn't see myself. I didn't see a place for him in my collection, so I'm really picky about what I put in it. But the rest of it, I could. After seeing some more good, really kind of people playing with the Sphexians, I went ahead and got 2 Sphexians. Yes. They'll be in next week. I
see people are playing around with Flog as well. They've got the
I still couldn't see it. I don't. He's cool, but I can't see him in my collection. That's kind of one of my biggest things. If I can't really see it and don't really have a place for it, it doesn't really kind of do anything. But it's kind of like
a good rule there. Indeed.
Yeah, if it's got to mesh a little bit. Some greedy. So, Bud, when you get your scaled figures correct, and do you ever feel the need to work on figures just because it's there?
Yes. Yeah. There's always some figure that I'm either working on or thinking about working on, trying to brainstorm what I want to do. Like every figure I have on my shelf is something I'm eventually going to paint. Whether it's a little bit of paint, a full repaint, customize, starting to get a little more into sculpting.
Yeah.
But yeah, the plan is to eventually paint all of them to some degree.
What about you, Eldor? Do you have to fix all the figures that you have, or are you happy that some of them don't have to be fixed? Or do Do you feel that urge?
I've had a few there. I fixed a few figures up. Thorin Oakenshield there from the Hobbit film.
Yeah.
They didn't put much attention into his face there like they did with the Gandalf figure there, and so I did a bit of a wash over him, and added a few more of the streaks to his hair, and made him brought him to look more like better likeness to Thorin Oakenshield there in the film, or the actor rather, whatever his name is there.
Yeah.
But, yes. I'm a fool, but an honest fool I remain.
So, but how are you with, like, let's say, like me, like right now, I'm kind of dealing with that whole, with the Sphexians and the Cosmic Legions that it's kind of the community that's kind of got me to where I wanted them. I was kind of content waiting for my wave 2 to come in that I had paid. But then all of a sudden I started seeing all the photos and I really start looking at those figures and it's like, I gotta get
did they announce that next wave of Cosmic came late?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit of time between now and when they don't go for sale. My wallet needs a bit of a break considering I've got about $900 worth of pre-orders and G.I. Joe coming out at some point shortly.
So has the community influenced me to
buy?
Good. Yes. That would be the Origins Snake Men.
Okay.
I never had them as a kid. Never heard of them until around the 2000X era. And there's no, that feel as a kid, for me holding He-Man Origins my arm first time. Like, I legit had tears in my eyes. Like, it was just that instant rush of, like, memories of being a kid, being at my, grandparents' house, that lying on the rug, that old kind of carpet smell, which is something that was, like, very a strong memory, because I'd always be laying on the floor playing.
Our memories can be linked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, Snake Man just, never had them. And so I was like, okay, I'll just skip all of those. I'll be fine. I just want the main heroes, Skeletor's crew, and then Hordax crew, and I'll be good. Yeah. And then seeing the, Snake Man come out, and I started liking them more and more, and the opportunity came up to get some of them, and I was just like, okay, these are amazing.
Yeah. So do you find that people's opinions of them influence your decision? So, like, say someone says they're really great or really bad, or does the review say someone gives it a review, and does that kind of influence where you go with your whether or not you want them?
A little bit, definitely. Definitely more if I like the figure. If I see a review of someone who doesn't like it, I'll tend to look up more reviews on it over just overwhelming, everyone says it's great.
Okay.
I really want to see why people don't like it.
Okay. That's fair enough. No, I mean, that's one of the things that I think it's different now because we can actually kind of, get other people's opinions. The internet's great for some things, and sometimes opinions are like buttholes and everybody's got one and they stink. But, sometimes we do get, it's good to have that variety where we get people that, this is why I don't like it. This is why it's not good, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, I had old Oz there. He got me into the Mythic Legions. Of course, I got my experience there, and since then I've got a few more. And a fellow's holding the Sun Wukong figure, the Monkey King, for me that I'll pay him for next month there. But I'm just dropping him a little bit of gold out this month, just to. Yeah,
he's one I'm hoping comes back someplace.
He will. He'll come back.
Second release. We've had lots of those already, so indeed that should happen.
they'll release him again. He just have a different paint. It may not have all the heads.
Like that. Yes.
Paul, yes, I do. I have all of Wave 1. I'm just waiting for Wave 2 to go on sale before I get it. It's one of those ones that
I never got any of those figures. No.
I have a huge affinity for it because it was one of the few times that me and my brother actually sat down together to watch a cartoon as kids.
I might try and get the dragon though if I still can, but otherwise.
So
I see they released that big eyeball guy, the big mouth there.
Yeah, the Eye of the Beholder, but I can't remember his name right now.
Beholder, I think. Yes.
I'm sure Thanos can tell us what the character's name was.
I can't think of it offhand.
I can't think of it either. My brain isn't focused currently on painting and trying to give this thing some greeny, dirty, mossy texturing. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it, but there's that.
And so this is the demon head for Snake Mountain there. So it's everything is quite fairly modular.
Oh, that is cool.
Just all slips into place.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, that's paper.
I like that.
A bit of an elephant at the moment, but I designed it so his nose becomes like the archway that was made a path to the main entrance. So his nose is sort of designed to form into the rocks that support up the main pathway there. And,
welcome to Snout Spout Mountain.
Yeah.
So that just really
make it into like a water park.
So that just slots into.
Since the nose sprays out water.
Where's Kayla when someone mentions water sports?
And yes, the winding path sort of starts about there, then snakes its way up around, and you come around there, and you can see a little archway there created by the nose.
Nope.
So yes, it just sort of looms over top of you there as you walk the path, as they say. And I'm going to have some red LED lights shining up through there to look like the glow of the lava and what have you.
That's cool.
Very nice.
And here's a snake, a piece of course that wraps around the center tower there.
Oh,
this is still toilet
so
rolls.
Is that gonna be for like a photos, or is that just something to sit in the background of your?
It's just a miniature statue there, more or less.
Okay.
I believe some fellows did one of the Filmation Snake Mountain, or one of those Snake Mountains there. There's a bit of a statue. Okay. So it's just more or less like that.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was like something going for a background for photographs or for a background in a diorama.
No, just more of a decoration, really, to fill out the collection. Yeah.
All right, so let me try to go back over here. So here's an interesting question for you, Beth. If you were the only one collecting a line that you knew of in your, whatever, let's say that you were the only person that was collecting it, would you keep collecting something if no one else was collecting it?
Oh, yeah. Because, I guess that wouldn't really apply, but,
no.
Yeah, definitely.
If you had a thought there, don't abandon the thought.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking, I didn't start collecting Origins because, I found groups. I just collected it, didn't really know. I mean, I, of course, figured other people collected it, but I just collected it because I wanted it, and then I found groups. So, I don't know if that kind of applies.
Yeah, no, that's a fair assumption. I mean, it's more about the lines of where we decide what's going to make it to our collection, how we're going to collect, and it's kind of it's that interesting dynamic where we choose something and we choose it because it's meaningful to us, and it doesn't necessarily have to be meaningful to anyone else. And what other people choose not to do and what we choose to do are always going to be an interesting thing for us to compare our collections. If let's say that, there's lots of people out there that like, let's say, Dino Riders. Very expensive to get into, honestly, because
yes, as a kid, I only had 2 of the figures there. I didn't have any of the dinos. My parents couldn't really afford all that.
Getting all that it's expensive. We have an expensive hobby.
Indeed. Yes, funny thing about Origins there, how I got into that was a few of the fellows complaining about all the scalpers out there scalping the Wind Raiders and so forth. They're like, oh, Master Universe is back there.
Yeah.
So indeed, they started me down the old garden path there, as it were.
All right, I'll get to the next question here in a minute. I'm kind of in the middle of finishing this.
I guess also like a line is also very appealing on the cost.
Well, see, that's the trick, isn't it? I mean, it's for all of us, like I said, this is an expensive hobby.
Yeah. And Origins and Masterverse was very appealing in that way because, starting out, they were like $14 and like $19 figures.
They're still not bad. I mean,
no.
Relatively
they're
speaking,
slowly creeping up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they always
nothing like the way Hasbro prices creep up, because that's just no.
There's
it's like all these magazine collection subscriptions there. The first one's usually $14.
Yeah.
That's how they get you in there, and then the rest of them are booted up to 20 or so.
That's why with like Transformers, I'm very selective because some of those get pricey.
For that, yeah.
Oh, there's some stuff.
You're now paying Voyager prices for the deluxe figures there.
Because like one of them I wanted was like Rodimus Prime, but he's like $90.
Oh yeah,
was that the Kingdom Rodimus Prime there, sir?
Yeah, and like the trailer's cool and all that, but it's just like, dang, $90 for that?
Yeah.
No.
I also had the Studio Series Hot Rod there, so yes, sir. But I haven't opened the Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, Studio Series is probably the one that I'll eventually get.
I see that the transformations are getting more articulate there, more advanced,
yes.
You might say.
Thank you, Kayla. Even though you're under the Geek the F out there, don't say anything you regret later. Your private account is the one you want to get all questionable, right? We don't want to Geek the F out and get questionable, right? Although we are with the violence again. Smacking it. Why we gotta smack it? Why we
like
gotta
one
smack it like?
One thing I've always wanted to have, but just the prices on them always just made me turn a cheek. I've always wanted a nice transformable Voltron figure, but they're all like $400 to $800.
Yeah. I gotta show something highly articulated. It's a wild tanger.
Yes, my great eye of the universe is needing a bit of a power up there. Bit of a charge.
They're really green.
Oh, very nice.
All right, that's one set of gloves down. On to the next one.
There we go. We're up and running again.
Yeah, I do have gloves and I probably should wear them, but I do not like how sweaty my hands get afterwards. Or like if I'm like working on something for a long while.
So, Bud, when you were have you always collected? You kind of. I don't have a missing cape, Brick. My cape actually is in there, thankfully. But I lost track. Okay, so you said you kind of stopped. Your mom kind of gave away your toys. Said that you were, ready to stop playing. I guess. Did you still collect in between that time and now? Have you always collected? Did you stop for a long time?
I did stop from kind of 14 until I was like, I think 18.
Okay.
Then I got into collecting bionicles. Got really big into those. Actually, I still have them all. I still have the cases for them.
Funnily enough, speaking about Transformers before, Emgo, he has a little bionicle mascot there.
Yeah.
And then I got out of that, and then I kind of had the big World of Warcraft MMO phase that I didn't collect anything for like 10 years. And then I would just collect random things like when that first newer live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle film came out, I had to get all 4 turtles just because I love turtles. And I think I collected a few Marvel Legend figures during the Netflix show era.
Okay. Yeah.
And then just random little things if I just found and it was cool or someone else found it. And like little tiny let's see here. Like I don't know where I got this from. Just a little Shy Guy figure. But just little simple things like that.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But yeah, I guess I've always kind of collected here and there, but never as big as it's been now.
So do you have any? I kind of mentioned one of my collection rules earlier. And it's kind of, if it doesn't really go for me, I don't really kind of get it. Do you have any rules for your collection besides the scale?
I am not a set or a completionist, but I'm I guess you would call it like a faction or a team collector.
Okay.
So I can never just get one turtle. If I'm going to get one turtle, I have to get all of them.
You have to get a friend there so he doesn't get lonely. But if they get bored with each other, you've got to have another one there. And so he has someone to talk to. But I had 3 of them. I might as well get all 4.
Yeah.
Because like when I started, like when I got that first He-Man, I was like, well, okay, now I got to have Battle Cat. But if I have Battle Cat, or I'm going to get Skeletor, I got to have Panther. While I have He-Man, I got to at least have Tila, Man-at-Arms, Orko. And then because I had Skeletor, I wanted that main like 6 villains. Had to have those. And then I have to have like the main group of something.
So there is some like hard and fast rules in your collection. Like,
yeah,
I mean, there's my collect. One of the things that I said, I can't have a single item that is more than the first car that I ever bought.
That's probably good.
That first car that I bought was $550. That was in 1990. So the first car that I ever owned was a $550 75 Mustang. So that's my rule, and nothing can be more than $550. Single item. Multiple items does not count. It's a single item.
I think of
my first ground ripper was a Nissan Sunny there, 400. 420. But all the work we had to do on it, a reconditioned engine and all this jazz, and a new radiator there. Oh, well over 1,000. Ended up selling it in the end, though.
I think of all the single, like if everything was separated into its individual price, the most expensive thing I have is probably my castle, my Origins castle.
Castle Grayskull, yeah.
Well, no, actually, no. Wait. Yes. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking of my Gundam, but
is the Laughing Prince Adam from Classics there. Cost me 300 gold.
Really?
Yes.
You could have gotten the Mondo.
I need a bit of a chair to the collection, and a Laughing Prince Adam with all the sparkles behind him and the card insert there. It seemed a good thing as any.
I haven't seen it all yet, Rick. Don't taunt me. That is not funny. I don't know. No. I need a break. Need a little break.
Ooh.
Need a little break. So expensive being a toy person.
Was it old Triclops there? Or was it wave 3 or wave 4? But he cost me 180.
Yeah. Where you go? What's up, James? How you doing? That's Rat Face 44 reviews. If you want to get good reviews, he does reviews for Action Force and G.I. Joe Classified. Wookiee Sasquatch, I haven't seen you here before. Thanks for coming in. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you click that like and click that subscribe and click the little bell for notifications. This is not always the normal thing. This month is work in progress August. So we're doing customs, we're doing dios, we're getting through somewhere. I'm not quite sure where we're going, but we'll get there eventually. Oh, I have a break till September 17th. Oh, geez, thanks. A whole 30 days. Wow. Ugh. So I'm hoping that's September 17th to October something, and then I can be all right because Joe is about to kick my butt for 2 months. Half of it's paid for already, but the other half isn't. That's about $500. So, yeah, I don't need to do that.
So we're losing the old Benjamins as fast as we get it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If with Cosmic and Mythics, if we wait, on average, we're paying $15 to $20 more. So,
so they're not a cheap line indeed.
Yeah, no, it's one of those. You have to either eat it now or you eat it later. It just depends on which way you want to deal with your money. So most of the time, I'll just eat it now instead of later. But
in some cases, it's more now, and if you wait, it's even more later on.
It's painful. It's painful now, but it'll hurt a heck of a lot more later.
So I don't know if you guys ever do this or notice this, but it's something that has happened to me, and I don't really know how I quite feel about it. But like when I get done painting a figure, and I look at it, it's complete, and I love it. It's sitting on my shelf. And then, some time passes, and you see someone make a post, they got the same figure, but it's unpainted. Do you ever look at the unpainted figure of something you've painted and just go, ugh?
Sometimes.
But do you feel, does that make you feel bad? Does that
no,
I don't know.
A lot of the figures that I do, that's why I do figures that aren't out yet, so I don't have to feel that way. But then when it comes out and they've got a figure that's of that figure that I made a custom of, if it looks better than mine, I'll be okay. I can just trade it out and use it as something else. But
yeah, that actually I did my custom McFarlane 90s Superboy, and then he finally came out with his, and I looked at it and I was like, I kind of like mine better.
Yeah, I don't like that. Well, it's because it's not the actual one from.
Yeah, it's not true to it.
One. Yeah, it's more to the modern.
A few McFarlane pieces now that I've had to.
Mine isn't either, but like.
And the Batmobile there.
Yeah.
Yes,
but yeah, like
the Batmobile in particular is ripe with inaccuracies and what have you. So I've gone back in there and re-sculpted some areas like the canopy and so forth. And I gave the Batman figure a bit of a wash there and a bit of a trim for his ears to get things looking a bit better. But yeah.
Is that a rock face, Eldor, that you got in your hand?
Oh yeah, so this is the Lava Falls rock face that will perch itself just in behind the two risers there for the riser for the tower and of course the demon head. So this just plonks in there. You'll have the lava coming out at the top there, and also the lava will come out through a hole that's been eaten away in the rock there out the bottom. And I hope to have the rickety old bridge, crossing the divide there as a way. Bit of work. Oh. So yes, and this was just a collection of polystyrene shaped pieces, all fairly stuck together, just to give a bit of a variation in the rock formation. And
so, how are you getting this polystyrene? That's just like styrofoam, right?
Yes, like you get your TVs and televisions and whatever TV sets.
Okay.
Or the old toaster on occasion.
We have no idea why you're a trendsetter, Silver K, but okay, Kayla, we'll figure it out. I have no idea what they're considering. Maybe it's the switching back and forth between your two accounts. I don't know. You're not the only one that does that. Trust me on that. All right.
You're starting a trend there, Silver K.
She must be. Bricks thinks she is. I don't know what she's starting, but it's something.
Oh, interesting.
All right, let me get back to my questions here. So, most of your stuff is out, but do you have anything that you keep in box, or you just does everything get the Bud play time?
Everything gets the Bud play time.
Everything. All right.
Everything is open, posed, joints loosened or broken.
A nip in the old bud, you might say.
Everything has a bit of oil from the skin on the figure.
So you're saying they are now magnets for dust?
Yes. If I were to show you my
your
dresser I have here,
imprinted on you.
Yeah, I have a dresser full of like Gundams that I usually don't show off because layers of dust.
Oh, see, that's not good. That's not good. So,
in fact, I just pulled one off my shelf here that I dusted off, and it took me quite a while to clean it, which is my original master grade RX 72.
Is that the figure or is that the model kit?
Model kit.
Okay. Yeah, those are some interesting model kits. I've seen them.
Yeah, they're amazing.
There's ones you can do in 5 or 10 minutes, and there's ones that can take you several
This one took me a couple days.
Yeah. So is there anything that you want to do with your toys that you're currently doing? You're not doing with them, Bud? I know you're kind of building cardboard diorama stuff, and I know you're kind of doing that. Are you wanting to do that more, or is that just to go in pre-existing stuff? Like
right now, just for playset of stuff that I have.
Okay.
I haven't done a piece in a while. In fact, I think one of the last things I did, I had like earlier. You guys are showing off your like painted rocks and stuff you were doing.
Yeah.
Here's mine. It's an edge of a box that I cut.
It's all right. That's how we do it. I mean,
yep. And I just kind of drew in the stones, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but
what you can do is you can use your scalpel blade there and just gently cut around all the stones, and then using the blade on its side, you then rerun through the cut again. It folds the cardboard in there and makes a bit of a gappage between the rocks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if I want to leave it with a cardboard look, because, like, as a kid, if there was a toy or something I didn't have and I really wanted it, I always try to make it.
Okay.
Yes, I made the USS Enterprise out of those paper plates there and a few toilet rolls when I was a lad.
And, like, I enjoy the look of that homemade craft look. But I also do like when they're really polished and they look, really good, but they're still made out of everyday materials.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of deciding how far I want to take it. If I want to just leave it as that, like, the only way I could think of, like, the only thing that pops in my mind is, like, in the first couple Toy Story movies, Andy, made up a town for, like, Woody and all his toys to play in, and there were just cardboard cutouts.
Oh, yes.
Like, I just love that look.
Yeah.
It's like just cheap, do-it-yourself, childlike look.
Well, of course, I believe the figure was the Buzz figure. He was put inside a rocket ship-like box there. I think he used the box as his rocket ship.
But then, of course, it won't blend in well with, the other stuff I have that's very, or not very, like, painted up, but, like, if I put the cardboard stuff inside the castle, it's obviously going to stand out like a sore thumb. So right now I'm making the parts basic and then deciding later what I'm going to do with it.
Okay. So you're just kind of doing piecemeal and kind of going from there.
Yeah. Like if I have an idea of something that's really cool, like one thing I made here that's sitting on the side of my desk, I made this weird, like, tombstone with, like, some vines and stuff coming out of it.
That's cool.
And yeah, it's just I thought, like, a cool, like, I think it was supposed to be for Hero. I think it was supposed to be Hero's grave or something.
Okay.
Oh, Hero there. Oh.
Because in the classics poster for the Castle Grayskull, it showed on the outside where, like, Hero's tomb was, and on the door it had this design on it. And I was like, okay, this would be kind of cool if, like, it was an actual, like, gravestone.
Yes, he'll be sadly missed, old Hero. Yes, a master should never outlive his student. In my case.
And then with some of the NECA figures I got like these diary or spell books, and I was thinking, ooh, it'd be really cool to do, like, a podium for them to, like, sit on.
Oh yeah.
So I just kind of crafted this.
Even do like a
makeshift podium.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it'll scale well with, like, Origin or, like, Masterverse.
It's those are very useful for those heavy books there and so forth.
And, like, anything I do, I wanted to scale with Masterverse and Origin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little for like this. I put a box that this can slide into, and it'll like raise the height on it. Same with my computer console.
Okay.
So that's one thing with all my cardboard dioramas is I want it to scale well with everything. Like I can just swap out things.
I showed you earlier my little, computer desk that I've got working for my what'll end up being my Joe base eventually.
We'll put in the headquarters there.
Go grab that. I'll show it to the audience.
Thank you, Brooke.
This is my new little computer setup. They'll end up going inside of this little photo.
All right.
So I have those done at some point this weekend, probably. It's my next project. I got to paint that and get all the stuff glued together and get it ready. All right, so hang on. Let me go back to my list here. So.
Oh shit.
Oh, something happening there.
So what figures, Bud, are you missing that you think that you would want? What are something that you're missing that you want?
Give me a quick second. My headset's doing something weird. I have to quickly turn off and turn it back on. I don't know if it'll.
It's fine. It happens. Eldor, how you doing there? You getting there?
Yes, prodding along there. Stuck into it, as it were. Quite literally.
Yeah. Sticking it. All right, I'm going to try to catch up with Chad and see where we're at.
Oh, yes.
Okay, there we go.
That's great. Somebody finally gets it. That's a good thing. Yes, she is. And I appreciate that, Woogie Sasquatch. Appreciate you subscribing and liking it. Okay, anything else? No. Rick's talking about those memory toys bears. Oh, the panda's awesome. Oh.
All right, there we go.
I saw the Sasquatch for the Fresh Monkey fiction. It looks pretty good. The head's a little weird.
There's times where it's the Bluetooth headphones I have. The sound will mess up and everything sounds like it's going through a fan.
Tunnel? Yeah.
So I had to turn it off and turn it back on.
It happens.
So sorry, what was the question?
See, you know what? I moved away from that screen. My brain, it figures you're missing that you want.
Yes. Well, obviously some of the missing Origins, which some of them like. Oh, sorry. What?
What one of those missing ones that hasn't come out yet are you really looking forward to?
Cyclone. Definitely.
Oh, really? Okay.
I know everyone kind of hates on the head. I actually kind of I like the head because it makes me think of the 2000X version where they kind of gave him a more, like Asian like kind of look with that kind of like samurai.
Yeah, I liked Cyclone as a kid. He was one of those figures. It was just cool to play with because I like the lenticular chest
the
piece.
ridiculous sticker, yeah. So I got Cyclone there.
Oh, I love that. That was going to be the big thing. If the sticker didn't work, I would not want it.
Yeah. Well, let's hope.
Like I don't even care about the like action feature.
Yeah, the stickers.
It can have that. It can have, but the sticker is a must. That is the make and break. So glad that it has that.
I was lucky to find a vintage Cyclone that still had his sticker intact.
Yeah,
he was missing his shield though.
Yeah, well. Yeah, that's the fun thing about it. I mean, I'm sure in your area, Eldor, I mean, it's a little hard to find those vintage figures.
Oh, there's tons of them. Just finding them in different conditions is the thing. I saw a mosquito there for sale with his gun there. And see, the gun is the hardest piece to find. Apparently, he was about $60 there.
All right, so hang on. So. Are there any times, Bud, that you've had buyer's remorse or regrets?
Yes. Not so much anymore, but a couple months back, I had got a bunch of Transformer figures, and I love them now, but like at the time, I was just like, did I really need them now? Because like I have a very addictive personality where when I get to something, I really get into it. And I got a Transformer before, I forget which one. It was one of the Bumblebee movie ones. And then I was like, I really love all of the Autobot looks from the beginning of that film. And I had the opportunity to grab most of them, and I did. And I got them, and they're awesome. And well, like one thing, whenever I get any Transformer instructions tossed out to the side, I always try to transform it myself first, without like looking up the video.
That could end badly.
Yeah, and I think I only had to look up.
Transformers are easier to work out than others. See, I do myself.
There's some that
now, granted. I always have a picture of it on my screen, transformed and untransformed, so I have some kind of visual to go by.
You just like living dangerously. Is that what you're saying, Bud?
Yes. And then like a couple, I think the remorse was a couple things. I think it was like Masterverse came out. I just couldn't grab it at the time because I had got those. And then I was like, oh, if I didn't be impulsive and grab them, I could have got that instead.
Yeah.
But like I still like love the ones I have, and I don't regret having them now.
Yeah. So do you ever get burned out? Do you ever feel that burnout kind of running with your collections? Do you get that point?
Well, it wasn't a burnout. Like it was with Gundams, and it was the beginning of the pandemic, and it was just so hard to find anything because obviously, they weren't shipping because all the Gundams come straight from Japan. So since everything was like shut down, since everything was shut down, there just weren't any coming over, and it was so like there's so many ideas of stuff that I had that I wanted to do that I couldn't. Yeah. That I got burnt out that way.
Yeah.
Like it was a creative roadblock per se.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you get to that point where it's not making you happy anymore, it's kind of time to reevaluate at that point. You got to. And
I've definitely taken a peek now because it's been a couple of years seeing what's come out, what's new. So there's a couple of things that kind of pique my interest, but I don't think I'll get anything anytime soon. And not because I don't like it, just I need to stay focused.
Well, and I think that's one of the things we
stop looking at the new shiny thing over here. Focus.
Yeah, as collectors, we can definitely fall into that. Ooh, new shiny. Let me go get that.
Yep.
I am particularly, that kind of a collector. Ooh, that's shiny. Let me get some of that. But I've done better because, like with Savage Crucible, I only backed 3 figures. I was proud of myself for that. Of course, Armies of Ashmore, I backed the entire thing and then got all of the extra figures and got all the plain bucks. And then, see, it kind of, that's how it works for me. it's like, ooh, shiny.
Yeah.
You see that. So, this is a big question.
I suppose my biggest remorse was when I had to sell all my classics, Master of the Universe figures. They were mostly all mint in collection there.
Yeah.
And then it was about 7 years ago, and then last year the fellow I sold my Mosquito Classics Mosquito to, he put that back up for sale again. So I said, "Oh, would you put a buy now on that, sir?" And he goes, "Oh no, I'd rather let it go." And yes, I had my money already there. There was a bit of a bidding war at the start there, but then something unexpected happened. My Great Eye of the Universe here, well, not this one, but the other one, the old one, it spat the dummy on me. I thought, oh dear. So all that money that was going to go and getting that figure back, it was still mint in box and had its main box there. And yes, so all that money suddenly had to go into this new Great Eye of the Universe there. So it would have been one of those... it could have been one of those interesting collector tales there, getting a figure back that you sold
back. Yeah.
years prior. Yes. It is what it is, I suppose.
That would be something very, I mean, for us, well, where you're at, it's kind of more likely because it's, there's less area for that stuff to vanish to.
Yes, it's a small world over here, you might say.
Yeah, you got a tiny world over there, Eldor. So it'd be a lot easier for that to happen for you, but I would be.
It was one of my biggest regrets was selling my classics collection. Indeed, I had Procrustes there. I had a King Randor, a Caldor, Petronia Disguise, He-Man, Mosquito, Froster, Catra, to name but a few, and Hurricane Hordak. Oh, yes,
so that's kind of the nature of collecting, though, is we kind of pick up one and then we kind of
the seasons,
sell it and then get the next one, and if it's no longer doing the things for us, making us happy, or
in this case I need the gold, you see, so
or in some cases if you need the money, there are times when yes, you need the money, and it's appreciated, and then you want to get rid of it. I mean, at that point sometimes you got to do it because finances are what the finances are.
Yes. Life tends to get in the way, you might say.
So, but do you ever have this desire to cut down to one line to like really, really laser focus in? You kind of mentioned that once Origin gets rid of gets the figures out that you want
every hour, every day. But then my brain's like, ooh, shiny.
Yeah.
And speaking of the ooh shiny, the worst thing ever is ooh shiny and it's on sale.
Yeah. Clearance. No.
That's like Transformers. Those Transformers I bought.
Yeah.
They were on sale. And like a lot of the McFarlane figures.
Yeah.
Like I hadn't collected any in months, and they had like the John Kent Superboy Prime, and like one other, and they were like $8 each, and I was like,
it gets you. The clearance aisle for me is like it's like crack. I just because it's worse now that I do customization, because I'm like, maybe I could use this for something else. But then like, I look at it, and then I get it home and I'm like, why did I do that?
A couple months ago, like I don't regret this purchase at all. But Amazon had Battle Cats down to like
$9.
Like $6 to $8 or like $9 or something. Yeah, I picked up 3.
You might say.
Yeah, I got 2. I got 2 during that one, and then they had Panther for like 12.
Yeah, I grabbed 3. I still have one I haven't painted. I got to do my
I got a Panther that time too, because I already had the flocked one that I got for $10. But
Duplicate, that's the one I still have to paint. But of course, as you saw, I did my Anti-Eternia Battle Cat and my Battle Panther.
Yeah.
Yes, the issue with customizing those battle cats is the joints, the swivel joints. They tend to shed away the paint there as you articulate the legs. See, I can't articulate the legs on my custom cat because of that reason.
Eldor, if you rub it down, get some super glue, super glue.
Oh yes.
Use a toothpick, and what you'll have to go really slow, but you put that super glue around that area in the joint where it's going to grind, and it'll cover the paint.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
As you move the leg slowly as you get that, so you can expose more of that area, but you have to let it dry in between things. But you can put it on a light layer with a toothpick.
See, what I have heard of is in the Mythic Legions fellows here, what they've been doing to avoid that is they whittle or sand down a little bit of the plastic on those swivel joints, so there's a bit of a gappage formed for the. But yes, there's not much meat on those.
It
pieces,
makes them
you expose the structural integrity there using the old Star Trek lingo.
Yeah, and that's why I use the super glue. It makes it a lot easier, and you don't end up having a whole lot of rub.
Oh yes.
Can the battle cat really articulate though? I mean,
not really.
Yeah.
The Masterversal one did. I regret.
This one's much better. Yeah.
Yeah, I regret popping the leg off my Panther when I made him. My Masterverse one. I didn't realize they were mushroom pegs. Because I couldn't find anybody that had broken one down, so I could see what it was. So I just had to take a chance, and I popped it off, and some mushroom.
See, I have glimpsed the inner workings of the Origins leg pieces there.
Yeah.
Of course, when I was melting away some of the plastic to make the internal robotic exposed pieces on that custom, I did see what the internal leg mechanisms were looking like there.
I got my Masterverse Battle Cat sitting up on the top of my shelf here, and I just noticed now I'm looking at him, and there's like front paws kind of hanging off the edge. I think there's a giant dead bug attached to the bottom of his foot.
That's gross. But
yeah, kind of is.
That might be a little TMI. I'm just saying. Just a skosh. TMI.
Kind of curious what kind of bug it is.
So, but here's a question for you: is there ever a time that you see yourself not collecting?
No.
Interesting.
But
you're gonna be the 90-year-old man in the old folks' home.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm still sitting here,
I mean, obviously, probably never to this degree.
Okay, so it would come down. It would go back to where it was. Low period.
Kind of just grab a little something here and there.
Kind of feed the animal, so to speak, right?
Like Masters of the Universe just meant so much to me as a kid. Like it just kind of exploded.
Yeah, I think we all have those kind of touch point toys. I think it's always interesting when we think about our childhoods and those properties that kind of resonated with us for whatever reason, whether it was availability, whether it was the cartoon, whether it was comics, all of those kind of fascinating things that we have this emotional attachment to. I mean, it's always interesting to see where that kind of dynamic breaks down for some people, and it's we try to find those things that are interesting.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of another line I would ever like. If something similar to like the degree of like how good the 2012 Turtles line.
Okay. Yeah.
Or something like that. Like
the show, was it?
Yeah. The retro newer ones, they're kind of doing like, they're cool. The first, the initial 4 Turtles are good.
Mm-hmm.
Bebop, I'd have to paint his face because it just looks a little too bright.
Yeah.
And Mondo Gecko is like one I'd have to have.
Yeah.
Yes,
he was always like.
I'm hoping to get those 4 turtles out to you. Hopefully next month there after the Snake Mountains are cleared there. But I still got those.
No rush.
For you there.
Thank you again.
Yes, I was in the store there the other day, and I see they got the back end alongside the storage cell. Turtles there.
But yeah, like turtles, or if they did come out with a neat non-Super 7 Thundercats line.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that I would like.
Because obviously,
crack at it.
Like Super 7, I just no.
It's a price thing for me, and it's an articulation thing. But there's this thing. Thundercats is my 3rd favorite property, so I
have been tempted a couple times.
The bare minimum.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've been tempted
I'm getting mutants. I'm getting Mumron, and I'm done. I'm not getting Palmyra. I'm not getting Bengali. I'm not getting.
And see, like, I've never watched the full series. I've seen episodes here and there, but my fascination with them is because of, well, I mean, obviously, 80s cartoon era, like all that stuff is great. Yeah. But that Masters of the Universe Thundercat crossover comic.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, you see.
Which is why I was heartbroken when that Motu TMNT comic never happened. And the artist started showing off all his designs and ideas for it.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, like the turtles getting armor and power-ups, in the Motu universe. And then seeing those leaked Motu turtles.
Those are awful.
Oh, yes.
Let's hope those are like really, really early in the prototype session.
Yeah. The Leo wasn't bad. I just didn't like all the weird blue samurai armor. Like, why is it samurai?
Yeah, I don't know. Those, and Adam, I don't have room for the cat there as much as I wanted it. But again, it still violates cardinal rule number 1 of my collection. No single item can be over $550. That is the cardinal rule. If it violates the cardinal rule, it does not make it into the collection.
But as they say, this rules are made to be broken or bent. We'll stop it out all. Okay, all right.
I don't have room for it. You're talking about 9 square foot. That's not a small amount.
Yeah.
I'll pass on it. As much as it's as cool as it looks, I'll pass on it. Cat Slayer is one of those things that I had the Cat Slayer as a kid. I don't need it as an adult. I'm good.
Do you have a creek near you, sir? Water flow.
I have a lake near me, not really any creeks or.
Well, there you go. There. Get rid of the old washing machine there. Put our Cat Slayer in there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just go ahead and. My wife will love that. Should be like toys are in every room now. Now.
Indeed.
I never had any Thundercat toy.
I'm aware that
there was a period where I had two loose Thundercats figures. I had a Lion there, but I sold those at about the same time I sold my classics collection.
I have so much G.I. Joe stuff coming out in the next 3 months. I
can't. A whole army there, so by the sounds of
it. It's ridiculous how much is going to hit me in the next 3 months. I mean,
G.I. Joe.
Yes, sir. The reinforcements are coming there.
Yeah, you can say that. Reinforcements not to my wallet, but reinforcements to my shelves. That's for sure.
But honey, I'm gonna have my reinforcements.
Yeah.
Before Origins, G.I. Joe Classifieds was something I was so close to pulling the trigger on. But it was when Target was doing the Viper Island.
Yeah.
And because the whole team collector thing, if I got the Cobras, I had to have Baroness, and it was that Baroness bike pack that was just impossible to find. And because I couldn't find her, I was like, I'm not getting any of them. Yeah. So then I just turned away, and then I think like a week or two later, my sister found He-Man and brought him home, and I just looked at him. I'm like, yes.
Yes, Brick, I do have a hiss. Apparently, they're hitting somewhere, I believe. We may be getting them within the next 30 to 60 days.
Well, they're attacking already, sir.
Apparently, somebody said that one of the guys that's in one of the G.I. Joe groups that I'm in, he said that they found that stuff on in like one of the ports that they know that has come in. It's just a matter of distribution. Well, if I found one for 500, maybe, but I don't think that's going to happen. Nobody's going to take that much of a hit on it. Let's see. Technically, it was 1990 money because it was 1990. So, but yeah, no, that just all right. So, Bud, got one big question for you. It's pretty much close to the last one.
Okay.
If space and money weren't an issue, what would you collect?
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So I would pretty much have the entire classics line.
Okay.
The 2000X and vintage and new adventures.
Really?
I probably have new adventures. Everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people kind of dog on it. But for me, I was born in 1986. So when I was like 3 or 4 and was really watching cartoons,
good year, sir. Good year.
That is what was on. Like that was on film. Filmation was on. Transformers were all. I was watching them all, thinking like they were new. Like it was just what was on, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I would like one of my grails is probably like maybe a laughable item to some, but it is new adventures. It is the electronic Skeletor staff.
Okay.
I had it as a kid, and it was my favorite toy. You press that button and it'd do the cackling laugh and the laser blast. The eyes would light up red and flash, and the jaw would open.
Ooh, the whole works.
Loved it. That's always one thing I'd love to get again. One that of course works.
Yeah, that'll be the trick. Who knows on those? Jeremy J, we are doing work. It's work in progress August. So every one of us is working on a progress. I'm done for the night. I got my stuff put together.
Yep, same.
I'm waiting for glue to dry. Technically, like literally waiting for glue to dry and paint to dry.
And I'll just put the glue on there.
Then I can, put the stuff back together and put it back on its shelf, and I'll have a nice new diorama display for my Python Patrol and Tiger Force figures.
But yeah, if money wasn't an issue and space, I would be hella into all of the Mythic Legion, Cosmic Legion, Super 7 for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, all that kind of scaled stuff. The NECA Turtles, both cartoon, live action, Universal Monsters, Predator, Alien, Evil Dead, like all of that.
You'd be a little boy in a candy store there, sir.
Yeah.
And then Gundams. Oh, and then of course I would have a lot of the kind of, I guess you would call it vintage, but the older Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Zords.
Okay.
Like as a kid, I always wanted the original Megazord, Dragonzord, Titanus, and that's also kind of a grail piece.
Bandai, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I had the main
I had a
power
few of
sword there, and I had the Dragon Zord, and you could interconnect them and so forth. And the Dragon Zord had 2 different battle modes there. Indeed.
Yep. Like I had all the like Thunder Zords and up until like
I don't remember why I bought those. Though. I
think Lost Galaxies when I stopped.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, those figures that flip where the head flips.
Yep. I definitely had all of those.
And I can remember getting a couple of the Zords, and I don't remember why, because I did not like the show. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was just buying stuff to buy stuff. Because I was kind of in that phase, that early adulthood, where you just kind of buy stuff sometimes to buy stuff. You know, I was making decent money. I was going to college. I was working full time, going to school full time. I had to have something to do with my extra time, I guess.
It's occasionally over here in Eternia, on certain kids TV shows, they would have little competitions there where you could win a bit of a 60-minute shopping spree or something, and they'd take you to the warehouse, and you had about so many minutes to grab as much as you could, and just to go wild there.
Yeah, they had those at Toys R Us here. I can remember a couple of times where they did those kind of contests.
Actually, I recall seeing Toy Tuber there. He was given the opportunity to raid to a certain toy shop there, and so he grabbed everything he could there.
Oh, yeah. That you know what? If somebody gave me that and gave me unlimited access to any toy line anywhere,
for sure,
I would be filling a cart just for fun. But I'd also be donating some of it too. So Adam has a question for you, bud. What gun club do you? I cannot talk now. My brain has gone.
What grade gun club? I usually anything high grade, real grade, or master grade. I've never done a perfect grade, or any of those like full metal builds or anything.
Oh, so yeah, I forgot they do make them with metal, don't they?
Yeah.
What about the full size grade there, sir?
Oh yeah, no.
You can get the life-size version. Just go to Japan, right?
Yeah. Like a lot. I mean, that Gundam, they have the RX-78 that's in Japan, and
well, actually, they have several statues. There's a smaller one somewhere else near a park.
The one that kind of like walks forward and kneels down. That thing's kind of cool, but like also I kind of don't like it. Like it, I get what they were trying to do. I just kind of wish they would have went the extra step. I wish it was a little more fluid, I guess.
I think some of that is, you in our heads we would like it to be like it is on the show, but let's be realistic about that. There's motors and servos and everything else that's probably not logistically real in the real world, and they're not going to work as fast as that. They're probably pneumatics. So
actually, I remember some fellow did a bit of a write-up of all the lists and components and the pricing, what it would have cost to a builder, as you see in the TV show there. It was pretty astronomical there.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt. Well, gentlemen, I think we're at a good stopping
brushes down there, as it were.
I think we're at a good stopping point, but we have the most important question of the night. What did you find joy in today? We will start with you, Eldor. What did you find joy in today?
Well, aside from waking up to a bit of a sore back that I had there yesterday, I don't know what I did. I must have slept the wrong way or something. You never know. From day to day, I could be waking up on the floor or halfway up the walls there and a bit of half-mast. But yes, aside from that, yes, I had a bit of joy here today. Being with you fellows and working on our little projects there and so forth, and learning all the tips and what have you.
Oh, well, we appreciate you being here. Bud, what about you? What did you find joy in today?
I'll be honest, I was actually a little nervous of coming on tonight. Like, I've heard a lot of the questions you ask, and the questions I could have can easily answer, but like I also didn't know like how deep it would go, and like being maybe vulnerable enough to answer certain things. But no, like honestly, this was very enjoyable and chill, and I liked it. So this was probably my most enjoyable thing I've done today, besides the short nap that I took, because I too suffer from back issues, and yeah, I did not sleep well today. In fact,
it's what us old men have to look forward to, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Like I always mention this to like doctors and stuff. I'm pretty sure I had scoliosis as a kid. I have really.
If you're turning around like old Batman there, then something's up.
Yeah.
I've seen X-rays of my like spine, and my lower spine is pretty much almost curled like a S. It's bad. So like I definitely get the whole like sleeping with back pain thing, and but yeah. So anyway, sorry, but
no, all good.
Yeah,
no, you're fine. It's what, I'm glad both of you gentlemen. What I had what I found joy with today was it was my kid's first day at school, and my youngest one, the severe profound, had a fantastic day according to his teacher. You know what? Good. He was not happy being in the car for almost an hour trying to get my other child to school because for whatever reason, the only day of the year where all the parents have to go take the kids to
school
is the first day of school and the last day of school. So I'm not
possibly the different motions and sensory stimuli in the car there, perhaps.
Yeah, it's sometimes, but being in the car for an hour that's like torture to him. I might as well be turning around and smacking him because it's that bad for him. 15 minutes, 20 minutes he can handle, but that was an hour. And yeah, so
he did well there.
It was a long time for him, but he bounced back. He had a fantastic day at school, so I was extremely happy with that. My older boy, he had an okay day. He's teenage. He'll be 16 Tuesday. Not driving yet. He's doing driver's training. He's scared to go driving with Dad. Apparently Dad is intimidating. Apparently I'm intimidating, so you don't want to go drive with Dad. He'll go with Mom.
Yeah, so when I went for my license there, driving the old ground rippers, I was asked to do the back reversing park there. Like, well, that scene in movies when the whole background zooms out on you. That's kind of what happened to me
there. Yeah. But gentlemen, I appreciate both of you coming, and hopefully we can do this again sometime soon.
Yeah.
We can work on projects together. That sounds like a plan for me. And audience, I want to see anybody. If you're still here, it looks like there's 10 of you that managed to make it through for 2 hours. 2 hours and 10 minutes. Yeah, that was a long time. Apparently I can talk. I didn't know I could talk. Yeah, great. Fantastic.
I'm really not much of a talker, so thank you for filling in that gap.
Yeah, you know what, but I'm glad you came on. I'm glad you felt comfortable enough to talk.
Yeah.
And share,
Honestly, some quick kind of funny. Like before you had like a message to me, because my brain trails off in every which way. I had this like random thought. I was just like, geez, no one ever asked me to come onto their shows. And literally 2 hours later, you sent me that message. And I'm just like, the Matrix is listening.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about that. It was more
I know.
You know what? I think Bud needs to come on because he does customs and he'll talk about doing customs, and it was useful, and he would give tips and tricks and all that other stuff. But before I go, I want to leave everybody with a thought. If you can be anything, be kind. And everybody, have a good night.
Good journey, everybody.